Hello, welcome to the first pick a card of the year from me. On love for 2021, I'm doing it by the season, so you'll get a section for spring, a section for summer, a section for fall, and a section for winter. Okay, and there's 4 piles here. So go ahead, take a moment, breathe, pause the video, whatever you need to do, and pick the pile that you feel called to. Okay, so for pile 1 we have Kunzite, pile 2 honey calcite, pile 3 Chrysaprase, and pile 4 Hiddenite. Okay, so pile 1, let's get started with you. Kunzite is a really good stone for opening the heart, for for being open to love of all kinds, especially romantic love. It's very good stone. I haven't worked with it a lot myself, but I love the color of this one. It's like, all right, group 1. Sorry about the sudden change in orientation. The cards weren't fitting well in the frame, so I had to switch things around a little bit. So for love in 2021, right this year, in springtime, we're starting with the 8 of Pentacles as the main theme of love in spring. And in this case, to me, let me switch this. These are backwards. Looking at the other cards here as well, it seems like there'll be a lot of building up yourself, working on yourself, putting in a lot of energy into figuring out what you want, what you don't want, what is benefiting you romantically and what is not, trying to figure out what to let go of, what to keep, what to hold on to, etc. Because here we also have clarifying the 8 of Pentacles. We have death and the devil. Okay, and death is all about releasing, letting go of one thing in order to make room for another. About when the sun setting and then rising again, death and rebirth, etc. So all types of things, letting go, moving on, letting endings, beginnings. It's a cyclical card. And then with the devil here, I think you'll be noticing a lot of things about yourself that you hadn't realized before. So a lot of realizations surrounding your own worth, and perhaps the ways that you have not treated yourself well, or have not given yourself credit. Maybe letting things slide that you wouldn't normally let slide, letting things happen that are not good for you or are not supportive of you and your endeavors. You know what I mean? And so then we have the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords energy, and this is where I get the whole figuring out what you need to do for your own worth. Because the Queen of Pentacles is someone who creates their own abundance. There's someone who is able to create what they need from nothing. And the Queen of Swords is someone who's very decisive. They've seen a lot. Both of these cards are people who are quite experienced, seen a lot, experienced a lot, and uses that knowledge from experience in order to make the decisions they need to make. Because also the Queen of Swords, on her dress here, I'll hold it up, on her dress here, she has 2 swords. See? 1, 2. And that brings me back to the 2 of Swords. And so she uses her knowledge to be able to make decisions that would normally be hard, because she's able to see with more than just her eyes. She uses her intuition, and she uses her intelligence together in order to choose what is best for her, in order to choose what is the most logical decision. And this, I think, being able to be more decisive and being able to choose yourself above all else, choose what's good for you and what nourishes you, allows you to be able to look forward and to move forward easily through life. You know, you might be letting go of a relationship which has not been serving you, or something that is holding you back with the devil here, something that you realize, like, I don't need this. You know, like, I could be finding a better relationship, or I could be finding something that I enjoy more, or somebody who treats me better, or someone who gives me the treatment that I deserve, or the things that I deserve. You know, I could find things which are better for me. I'll also pull a heart thoughts card for each season. These cards, Louise Hay, heart thoughts. You also might find yourself in a situation where you have to be extremely decisive. You know, a situation where it's like, do or die, you know. But I mean, that sounds dramatic, and this is a love reading, so it's not going to be like actually do or die. Like, you're not actually going to have anything life-threatening, but it's like, I need to make this decision. It's like very important in regards to like shaping you as a person and who you are. My income is constantly increasing. I am worthy of prosperity and abundance. And this one is, I am connected to all life. I am spirit, light, energy, vibration, color, and love. I am connected with every person on the planet and with all of life. And so with these two cards for spring, one, definitely talking about self-worth, and two, I think it's also reminding you that you are part of this world, and you are connected to everything, you know, so you don't have to settle for whatever is like right in front of you, because there will always be more, you know, and those things will always find their way to you because you are connected to everything. All right, so now we're going on to summer. For summer, we have the sun. And the sun is a card of happiness and abundance and excitement and success. Oh, no. Sorry, wrong card. This is the card. Page of Hearts, Princess of Hearts. I'm sorry about that. I grabbed the card in the wrong order. For summer. So this is a card of getting messages, some pages of messenger, new offerings, new opportunities, especially in regards to like love, maybe some apologies from people. Yes. So we're gonna get 5 cards for this one. Alright, so summertime. My camera is shaking so much. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find, I need a tripod or something. You have to shuffle like this, it'll shake less. the Chariot. King of Wands. Six of Cups. Ooh. Two of Cups. And the Lovers. Ooh. Wow. That's wild. So for summer, it looks like some of you may have the sudden return of somebody in your life that you have known before, or that feels, or maybe it feels like you've known them before. Very passionate. This is someone who would be very passionate about you, about life, someone with a very strong lust for life. Someone who brings out, I think, childlike qualities in you and who makes you feel more confident in who you are. I think this is also someone who offers you a lot of comfort and a lot of emotional intimacy that you may have been missing out on before. So also thinking about the previous section, and there weren't a lot of cups, there weren't a lot of like emotional cards. A lot of it was very mental and physical, so probably a lot of focus on work. You know, maybe you move somewhere between spring and fall, between spring and summer, and this results in you reuniting with this person or meeting this new person. I'm not sure if they're new. It feels like someone you already know, honestly, but like for some of you it might not be. Take it as it resonates, and I'm going to clarify some stuff because I would like some. This is the Mystic Mondays channel, by the way. Clarifying the Six of Cups, we have the Nine of Wands and the Two of Wands. And so I do think that this is someone that you have known before. However, I think that this decision to open up to them was kind of difficult because it feels like it's someone that you have dealt with a lot of difficulty with before. You know, I feel like they may have been someone who was kind of inconsistent for you. And so it's hard for you to open up to them because in the past you've had to be really, you've learned that you've had to be really guarded, you know, and so it's really difficult for you to make that decision to move forward with them despite the past that you share. But I think that the reason that you go through with it is because with the Page of Hearts here, it feels like they are genuinely apologetic and they care. And see, in this Page of Hearts, she's reading this this letter, and it's not a short letter, it's really long, and I feel like whoever this is, they come in with a very genuine apology. And not just a genuine apology, but I also think that they show consistency and they show openness, because the Chariot also, and I think to me, it implies consistency, especially as you move forward, you know. So I think you decide to move forward with this person, and that they let you, and that they show, you know, they're not just all talk and all energy. They show you that they are here. You know, they offer you this vulnerability and this openness that allows you to be comfortable with like choosing to spend time with them, because also the Lovers implies a choice. Okay, the Lovers is a card of choices, and so you may or may not choose to move forward with this person, although I do feel that is the energy here. But if you do choose to do so, I think it will work out in your favor. And it'll be because you have the choice to do it or not, you know? I'm going to clarify the Lovers. Lovers clarified by the Three of Wands. And we had the Three of Wands in the previous section. for spring. So I think you will definitely be moving forward here. I think you'll be able to plan some of the things in the future, some future things with this person. This doesn't feel like a fling or something short. It feels like there's genuine interest and genuine emotional intimacy and closeness and vulnerability between the two of you. And I think you really understand each other. You're able to go to the depths without feeling overwhelmed, you know? You're able to open up and be free. And this Two of Cups, they're both naked. They're naked and they're in the water together, and they're sharing a cup with each other, with one another. So not only are they in the depths of feeling and the depths of emotion, but they are also, through their nakedness, they are vulnerable. And they're sharing their cups together with so much, with joy, it looks like, you know? It's not like, it's like being vulnerable without feeling like everything's super heavy and difficult, you know? And this King of Wands, it may not be like, it could be male, female, non-binary, whatever. It's just an energy of someone who is a go-getter. This is somebody who is able to manifest things that they want. This is someone who's probably very creative. This is also someone who has been really emotional and has had a hard time. We also have the Devil on the bottom of the deck. Someone who has had a hard time with dealing with their emotions and facing them properly and learning how to let go, you know, of the emotions that do not serve them. Learning to not let their emotions hold them back from their future. I think they're also someone who may dip into vices such as like alcohol or like escapism through like drugs, or I don't know, just like maybe even just playing video games. But there's someone who that used to not really like facing their real emotions. You know, it made them feel very out of control. But I think they've learned to embrace those feelings. And that's why you allow them back into your life. Alright, so fall. Keeping an eye on time. For fall, we have the King of Pentacles. Oh, also, this is the Enchanted Tarot, by the way. I really like the art. It's very, like, collagey, but in a good way. And also the cards are huge, which is why I'm using it as a, like, the main cards for each season. King of Pentacles. A sip of water. Wrong deck. Prisma Vision. Ten of Cups. Death. Six of Wands. Five of Cups. I wasn't going to take all of these cards. Oh, bottom of the deck we have the Fool. And I wasn't going to take all of these, but I feel like they all belong, so I'm going to. And I'm going to move this up here. Star, Queen of Pentacles, and the Fool. And so maybe in spring, when this person pops up, I think you maybe allow yourself to dip your toe in a little. This feels like a complete change. I do feel like you're dealing with the same person you were dealing with in summertime, but their energy is like very different. I think that they came in the summer with a very, it feels very impulsive, very out of the blue, you know, Yeah, I think that they were shown as the King of Wands because that's the energy that you were viewing them as, and that's the energy that they had at the time because of how much enthusiasm they had, and how it felt very impulsive. But here, I think that they are coming through with the King of Pentacles. This might be a different person, but I feel like it's the same one. And so then they have this. I remember actually at the very beginning of the read in the springtime, you were shown as the Queen of Pentacles, and here you are again, the Queen of Pentacles. We come full circle, and with the King of Pentacles. And so at this point, you are dealing with someone who is your match. Someone who treats you the way you deserve to be treated. Someone who is very abundant, who's very caring and nurturing. I'm getting Taurus energy, not really any of the other earth signs, but like mainly Taurus. And this person, they're there for you. I think always, through all the difficulty, they defend you. They provide for you, And I think that this is a situation where you feel like ultimately happy, like you've never felt this level of happiness and excitement with someone before. It's completely different from anything you've ever dealt with, I think, And that might sound really dramatic, but I think that's what it is. And I think that's why it's represented with the Death and the Ten of Cups, because I think it completely changes the way that you view relationships. I think you let go of kind of some of the expectations that you have. Not saying that it's wrong to have expectations, but that maybe some of these expectations are holding you back in regards to the kind of people that you allow into your space. And so then I think you let go. I think maybe you've been holding some grudges. Holding on to emotions that you don't need to hold on to, just for the sake of holding on to them, not even because of their help, not even because they're helping you in any way. So you choose, I think, to throw out things, which this seems like the theme for the whole year, getting rid of things that no longer serve you. 2021 is a 5-year. 5 is a number of change. 5 is a number of freedom. 5 is like pure fire, action. If you think of the tarot, what is 5? 5 is the 5 of Swords, which may be leaving a battle or having an argument, but either way, it's conflict for the sake of change. 5 of Wands, I often view it as a lot of people fighting each other but having the same goal. People with similar passions who just can't see eye to eye. Again, it changes, it moves into the 6 of Cups. Not 6 of Cups, 6 of Wands. 5 of Cups. Needing to change perspective. And the 5 of Pentacles, which is another card of movement. Okay. Anyway, 5 is a number of changes, and so I think this will be a very big shift for you. Be letting go of preconceived notions of relationships, and I think also letting go of hold on, I need to let my cat. Okay, so I've returned. You're letting go of a lot of ideas of what you wanted in relationships, or like letting go of grudges. And I think this brings in a lot of healing for you with the Star. And it might start as like a little trickle, by letting them in a little bit at first. It allows you to open up yourself even further as they gain your trust, and as you gain each other's trust. And eventually I think you're able to meet eye to eye as the Queen and King of Pentacles. Two people who are willing to be very consistent for one another. People who are willing to give to one another on an emotional and physical level. And I think this allows you to take a risk in choosing to spend time with this person and choosing to dedicate yourself to them in some way or another. I say take a risk because of the Fool card here. Because I think also you've learned how to assert your worth and how to maintain your worth, and how in a relationship you need to assess your needs, you need to voice your needs in order to have them met. You can't have them met unless you communicate them, and so by learning to prioritize yourself and what you need, you end up makes all of your relationships better. And I think that this is what you'll be having in fall. A couple of heart thoughts cards for you. Your card for this one is I have unlimited potential. And it says, I trust myself to create only that which is for my highest good and greatest joy, that which is perfect for my spiritual growth and evolution. And I think that this, I think that this relates directly to what I was just talking about regarding your self-worth and recognizing that you need to voice your needs in order to get what you deserve, and understanding that you can have what you deserve. You can have the consistency that you want, and you can have your needs met, but you have to speak up, and you also have to be willing to take risks and have hope with the star here. Have hope that things will work out. And also remember the Fool takes a leap. The Fool takes a leap knowing that the universe will catch him, knowing that we're having faith that things will work out the way that they need to. And so I think you take a leap and you have hope and you have faith that things will work out simply because of who you are, and understanding that there is potential in everything and that you hold unlimited potential within yourself. I think that's amazing, personally. Okay. And also the fact that the Lovers is on the bottom of the deck, I think that this is going to be a very romantic year for you with just one person, Or maybe another person. Maybe the King of Pentacles is someone else and I'm wrong. Who knows? Oh my god. This card. The sun just fell off the desk. So, winter. The sun. Oh, sorry, I got distracted. So now winter. Clearly with the sun, this will be a very successful time for love. Love will be very nice and happy for you here. And also keep noting the sun here, they have two birds. Eight of Wands, Page of Wands, Magician, Knight of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. This is really exciting. So, love for you in winter will just be, I think it'll be really happy and very stable with the sun. That's the overall energy. Happy, stable, successful, like the effort that you put in has brought you exactly what you wanted. Things going well, things endlessly growing, a very fertile partnership. If you are with someone that you could potentially, if you are someone that has a uterus and you're with someone who could potentially impregnate you and you don't want kids, please be careful. Anyway, I think this might move very quickly. Like it feels like things got very solidified in the fall, and in the winter, I think things move very fast. There's a lot of passion, a lot of excitement, and I think there's so much passion and excitement because of the amount of emotional connection, and I think because of the first of how new and how solid this is, but also because of how much you can make together. I think this is a very creative partnership. I think you're able to create a lot together based in your emotions and your feelings for one another, and you're able to foster each other's feelings and encourage them to grow, a lot as individuals. Encouraging each other to, I think both of your cups will be endlessly overflowing because of the amount of energy that you put into one another. I need to clarify the Magician. Cards falling. Wow. These cards are like so stiff. Two of Wands. And the Ace of Swords. Okay, so I think that the Magician is here because the two of you are able to be very vocal and very clear about what you want and what direction you want to go in. I think you're very much on the same page, which makes it very easy for things to move very quickly. Very easy for you guys to manifest the future that you want with one another. And I think it makes things also all that more exciting for you because if you're on the same page, then it's really easy to just like want to just go because it's like, oh my God, we both are really passionate. We both want to do these things. We both want things to be stable. We have the same needs and wants, and so you just match each other. And because of that, things are able to move very quickly between the two of you. That's really exciting. As I was saying earlier, this is a very fertile partnership. We have the Empress and the Knight of Wands on the Knight of Wands. You might even want to have kids with this person, or you might end up, if you can get pregnant, being pregnant by this person, regardless. If you don't want that, be careful. I already said that, but like this is saying more. If you are of age, I think this will be a very sexual partnership. Extremely so. It's honestly is giving me like honeymoon phase. There's not much to say about it. It's really exciting. It's really happy. I am a magnet for miracles. When I change my consciousness and forgive those I need to forgive, healing miracles occur. And so, yeah, as I was saying earlier, I think this is someone that you've interacted with before, you've been with before, and you weren't able to trust them because of their inconsistency and lack of vulnerability and lack of communication, but they come through and they've changed. And then I think because you're able to forgive them, you're able to have this future, this happiness, this abundance, this passion, this excitement, this creativity, you know, because of the forgiveness that you give. Because remember, you forgive not for the other person, but for yourself. And I think you change the way that you think, and you're like, all right, I'll give this a chance. And then you do. And things turn out extremely well. This is a really exciting love story for y'all. How exciting. All right. That's it for group number 1. I'm going to be moving on to group 2. All right, group 2. Welcome to your reading. As I explained in the intro, this reading will be seasonal. So I'll have a card for spring, a card for summer, a card for fall, and a card for winter. And you chose this pile with honey calcite. Honey calcite is a very happy stone. It connects with the solar plexus. It really helps for success, but I think overall it helps with just excuse the sirens. Helps with just general success and happiness and joy. It reminds me of amber in energy. It also feels, calcite has a very strange texture. It feels kind of waxy. Okay, so, alright, so for spring we have the Fool. That's really fun for love. And this is the Enchanted Tarot. And to get more details on that, I'm using the Prisma Visions Tarot, which is one of my favorite decks. Here's the box. It's upside down. Here's the box. Five Cups. Two of Cups. King of Wands. Six of Wands. Oh, the Tower. That was odd. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. Okay, and so what this feels like is you might be like, I know we're still in a pandemic, but you might be like dating around, talking to a bunch of different people, trying to move on from heartbreak, you know, and trying to get very comfortable with yourself, trying to get back to yourself. I think that's why we opened with the Fool. You know, you're just like going about taking risks, doing what you want to do, trying to feel good, etc. With the King of Wands, I think you're trying to see all your options, trying to like just do what you want to do, really. And you do end up moving forward with the six of Cups and the Six of Wands. I think there is a lot of forward movement here. I think you're moving into a very like a calmer space, but I think something ends up catching you way off guard at the end of springtime with the Tower here. It feels like the way the cards came out, it kind of looks like you were like going along, minding your business, Six of Wands, trying to like go into calmer grounds, and next thing you know, you're like going into this storm. I don't think it's a bad thing though, but I'm gonna get some clarifying cards in the Tower. Before I split the deck, we got the Five of Wands. Odd. Tower for group 2, please. It's springtime. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Five of Swords and Judgment. Huh. I think you're just going along minding your business, and then you might end up hurting someone on accident, I think. Unintentionally. Or you get hurt. No. I think you end up hurting someone on accident. I think you might be viewing someone as a casual encounter or something that you're not taking that seriously. However, I have to get the feeling that you're not on the same page, which is really unfortunate for them. And I'm saying I think you end up hurting them, because I'm looking at the top of the deck. We have Death. Bottom of the deck we have the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Wands, which is giving me very like, you're looking for fulfillment and you're looking for what feels good to you, you know. But in the process, I think it ends up, I think someone wants more from you, but you're not able to offer that at the time, you know. And so I think there may end up being an argument where you just express that, you know, what they're looking for, you can't give them what they're looking for at that time in your life, you know. Because I think things with this person, I do think that they feel nice, but I also think that at this point, this energy doesn't feel like you're at the point in your life where you would like to give someone a greater sense of consistency and happiness. Not happiness, but like not really wanting the responsibility of another person or wanting the obligation of another person. Because to me, it feels like you might have just got out of something that was like very heavy and difficult. And so it's like you just got rid of all of these heavy cups with the Five of Cups. You like just moved into a space where you feel very comfortable being on your own and you feel very good on your own. And then this person comes in and it's like, you like them, they're nice, but I don't think that they're giving, you're not ready to commit to anything at that time, even though that's what they want. It isn't really for you. And I think you end up hurting them, potentially. And I think this person has very pure intentions with the Page of Wands, you know? And so I think, one, it's really important for you to communicate clearly what you're looking for pretty early on, so that this doesn't end up happening and that you don't end up causing harm to someone or hurting their feelings, even though feelings will get hurt regardless, even with good intention. I don't know why, it kind of feels like they may give you an ultimatum, you know? With things going really well and whatever, they might give you an ultimatum of like, I want commitment, or like, do this or do this. Where they like kind of force you to make a decision and it doesn't end up working out the way that they want it to, I don't think. Because I think ultimately here, what you're looking for is happiness and excitement. And you don't really want someone who's going to give you ultimatums like that, or make you, you don't really want to have to settle down, or really want to have to choose, or want to have to do anything for anyone else but yourself at this point. And it does, I think that that's valid too, especially considering how this is coming from a place of having only just become revitalized and having only just started to feel like yourself and feel free. It may feel selfish to them, but I think sometimes it's okay to be a little selfish. And also honestly, if you're not in the right place to be giving to someone, if you don't even want the obligation of someone else, then it makes it really difficult for you to be a good partner. And so it's probably in both of your best interests if you choose not to. But that's up to you. Summer. Alright, for summer, we have the Two of Swords. Oh, I forgot to get a Heart Thoughts card. Hold on. Let me get one for spring. I am free to be me. I see myself as being free. I am free in my mind. I am free in my body. I am free in my life. And so, yeah, in springtime, I think you're really looking for freedom. And you just aren't interested in being tied down. And there's nothing wrong with that. Alright, so back to spring. Okay, summer. Priestess, the Ten of Cups, Wheel of Fortune, Ace of Wands. Alright, group 2. This is your, one more card for summer. Page of Swords. What is going on? Bottom of the deck is the Devil and the Fool. Top of the deck is the King of Swords, the Sun, King of Swords. That's so weird. I need some clarifying cards. I don't understand. Oh, maybe at the end of springtime, maybe you don't choose to not be with this person, but I think you end up having to make a decision. And I think decisions have consequences, actions have consequences. I think that this person from the springtime, I think that you would be happy with them, but I think you also don't really want to be with anybody. Keep doing that. Oh my god. So, I think that you would be happy with them. And that would bring you fulfillment, and I think it would bring you a lot of happiness. But I also feel like you don't necessarily want to settle down. So let's clarify. Ten of Cups, clarified by the Page of Wands, which is the same card representing the person from springtime. And so yeah, I think this person will bring you a lot of happiness. I think that you could feel very secure and fulfilled with them. Wheel of Fortune clarified by Judgment. And the Two of Pentacles is on the bottom. And so I think you're really stuck, I think. on deciding. It's like deciding between your freedom or wanting to settle down and commit to somebody. You know? Like, do I want to... well, part of this kind of feels like choosing to just go with the flow, see what happens, take some risks. The Page of Swords is clarified by the Five of Swords. But I think part of this decision, I think a lot of you choose to like be with this person, but I think this decision ends up being very impulsive, and we end with the Five of Swords again. The Five of Swords was also clarifying the Tower at the end of springtime. So there ends up being a lot of conflict here. Maybe some words get said that shouldn't be said. You know, harsh. I feel like some harsh words are shared here. And I think part of it is because you guys for those of you that chose to be with this person, I think it was an impulsive decision that you shouldn't have made because you don't actually want it. And then the person ends up being able to tell that you don't actually want it, even if you know you can be happy there. Part of you was not really in it. Ace of Wands clarified by the Four of Cups. And I think that they end up feeling like you're overlooking them, you know, and that you aren't giving them the attention and the passion that they're deserving of. Maybe they feel like you are putting your attention everywhere but them, you know. And so then they end up not feeling cared for, not feeling looked after, not really feeling like you actually want to be there with them. But the thing is that you know that this would bring you happiness with the High Priestess and the Ten of Cups and the Wheel of Fortune. You know that this would bring you fulfillment. But you're very... Okay, so we have Four of Pentacles clarified. The High Priestess is clarified by the Four of Pentacles, and then the Nine of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles reversed. You know to bring you happiness, but you are so... I think you end up caring so much about defending yourself and caring so much about being secure and like not opening up and like being closed off and being afraid of vulnerability that you end up being really selfish, you know, and only caring about your needs and like being afraid of opening up. So then you end up being extremely solitary. Being in a relationship, except this person doesn't really feel like they're in a relationship with you because you aren't opening up to them. Why would you choose to be with someone if you don't even want to be with anyone, you know, just because you feel bad? And then you just end up in this situation like this. The Two of Cups is on the top of the deck, and the Moon as well. And so I think this is something, there are actual feelings here that could be explored, and I think that it would lead to a lot of happiness and fulfillment if you were to choose to go down that path and explore and see what's available. And get to know them. I think a lot of you are judging this person based off of appearance or based off of surface level interactions and not actually based off of who they are. And so then you end up hurting them and hurting yourself in the process because you end up putting yourself through all this drama that's unnecessary. And so that's summer. Fall, the Two of Cups. What a shift in energy. Hold on, I need to let my cat out. And also close my window because it's a little cold. I said I was gonna let my cat out, and now he came right back. I need him to decide where he wants to be because I'm not gonna be opening and closing the door. Anyway. Fall 2021 for group 2. Oh, you have to really choose what actually brings you happiness. Choose what is truly happy and fulfilling for you. You know, are you choosing to be alone because you actually want to be alone because that's what brings you happiness, or are you choosing to be alone because you're afraid of getting your heart broken? Something you have to ask yourself. Queen of Cups, Eight of Cups, Ten of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles, Ten of Cups. Oh, this is nice. What a big change from summertime. What happened? I think that you guys choose to leave your feelings of like hurt and betrayal, the grudges that you're feeling from whoever hurt you before. You choose to leave those things in the past. I think you choose to let go of them and to mature emotionally. You know, and I think because what you guys do want, you really do want a deep, intimate connection with someone. Even if you don't realize it now, that is something that you want and you really are looking for. You want something consistent. You want something that will last you. And I think that's a lot of the reason why you end up not wanting to dive into other relationships or wanting to take risks with people, because you don't want to end up in something that doesn't last. You don't want to end up in something where you end up getting hurt. You don't want to wait forever just to end up being unfulfilled and unhappy and hurt, you know. But in order for you to have that, you have to put in consistency yourself. You have to be there yourself for someone else. You know, you can't be selfish. Because there's always going to be risk when it comes to this kind of stuff, when it comes to love. And so I think you decide to leave all those feelings behind, because the thing is you can't apply your emotions and things that happened in previous situations with other people to current situations with new people, because the people that you've interacted with before are not the same as the people that you're interacting with now. They are completely different, and the situation's completely different. Even you are different, you know. And so past information cannot be applied to current situations, especially in regards to love, because every person is different. And so you guys end up, I think, choosing to wait for something more substantial, or to wait for something that gives you what you need on an emotional level. not doing this every time. Unacceptable. These cards falling. Can't do it. I'll shuffle over here. Maybe. And it is. Okay. This Page of Wands will just not leave. Okay, I think that this person is incredibly insistent. This same person has showed up in every season. I think that they like you so much that they choose to wait for you to get your shit together. Excuse my language. They wait for you to get it together because both of you know how well this could work out. Yeah. Bottom of the deck, we have the 7 of Pentacles, the 10 of Pentacles, and the 3 of Pentacles. They know that you would work well together. You both know that you would work well together. And so they choose to wait. Because you have an emotionally intimate connection. You understand each other. Truly. And so I think they do choose to wait, but it's not for no reason. I think that things end up working out between the two of you and you end up being quite happy together. Being able to settle down. Open yourself up a little bit. Clarify the 10 of Cups, please. And the 2 of Cups and the 8 of Cups on the 10 of Cups. And so I think you make this decision to choose to leave behind the emotions and the feelings and the grudges that hold you back, you know, that no longer serve you. You choose to let them go for the sake of having a happier and more fulfilling future. The 10 of Cups and the 10 of Pentacles and the 2 of Cups, and that's extremely significant. This is a connection that will last. But that's only if you choose. We have the 8 of Cups here twice. That's only if you choose to leave behind unnecessary feelings and grudges and no longer hold those things against people who have nothing to do with them. This is all dependent upon you. How badly do you want this connection to go well? Even if at first you're like not interested. You need to decide what you want. Because other people's feelings are at stake here. And even though you don't owe anybody anything, you still can't be selfish to the point that you are constantly causing pain to someone else. And so you need to decide, do you want to be with them or not? Are you going to open up to them or not? And if not, then you need to leave them alone. Or tell them to leave you alone. Because they'll just keep getting hurt by you. So figure it out. Let me get you Heart Thoughts card. I know that sounded kind of harsh, so let's soften it up. I am willing to learn new things. I love to learn and I'm willing to drop old concepts when they no longer work for me. Growing and changing is exciting. This is really important for you because you need to acknowledge that the way that you were thinking about how relationships work and how they impact you, and like the generalizations that you form in your mind are not necessarily relevant to every person that you meet. It's important to know when things are no longer working for you, when they no longer serve you, and then learn how to let them go so that you can bring in things that are more exciting and then grow a little as a person. You know, there's a lot to learn from learning when to let go. Now, winter. Winter, the Hierophant. Wow, that sure is something. This is really funny. You go from like wanting nothing to do with anybody to probably being committed to somebody at the end of the year. This Page of Wands figure just won't leave you alone. All right. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune, Queen of Cups. Reverie. And the Empress. Okay, so before I say too much, Reverie is a card that comes with this deck, and it's about nostalgia. Looking back on the past, being careful not to look at it through rose-colored glasses, the lessons that we learn, and how we can take what we've learned from the past and apply it to the future. Okay. So, I think you choose in winter, you might take a break from this person. I think it's for the sake of going within and doing a lot of reflecting on yourself. Figuring out what needs to change within you. Figuring out emotionally what is going on that is making you react to them the way that you have been. There's a lot of really deep reflection and time alone here in winter. I think you'll be looking back at the past, at like the person who you were hurt, the reason that you were hesitant about relationships in the first place at the beginning of the year. You know, like why you were behaving the way that you were throughout the year with this Page of Wands figure. And I think you do this for the sake of carving a better future for yourself and learning when it's time to let go of old concepts and old ideas for the sake of forming a better, more abundant and loving future for yourself. I think you may, there's nothing here saying it specifically, but I think depending on how the situation goes, you may end up at least seeing this person more consistently and more openly and being more open to an actual like connection with them, like beyond the physical, because of this reflection that you do, but that's only if you do choose to reflect. The Empress is clarified by the Eight of Wands, and so on the bottom of the deck is the Two of Cups. And so I think if you do reflect, I think you end up having a new beginning with this person, or with a different person, depending on how tired this other person gets. I do think you end up with a new beginning in love. And I think once you do this reflection, and it helps, I think you are able to move forward fairly quickly. And things with this person move forward very quickly. Because you learn and you apply that information to current situations. And I think that you also end up the Two of Pentacles here. Learning how to balance yourself, like your needs versus someone else, or you learn how to you learn how to prioritize what's actually in your best interest. I got a Heart Thoughts card for winter. I trust myself with unconditional love. I'm a precious being loved by the universe. As I increase the love I have for myself, so too does the universe. And I think this avoidance of love and real connection was kind of a form of like restricting yourself from things that are good for you or things that feel good. Maybe you're feeling unworthy of love. And I think this person that you've been dealing with, the reason they've been able to deal with you is because they do hold unconditional love for you. You know, I think they see part of themselves in you. And that makes it easier for them to be so understanding and forgiving and patient as well. That's why they're able to wait for so long. And I think that this reflection allows you to find a deeper level of love for yourself, which then allows other people to love you. Well, allows you to let other people love you. Because I do think that part of this resistance of like love at all is due to not feeling deserving of it. Okay, and that's all for group 2. All right, group 3, I've returned on here. Here's your pile. You picked Chrysaprase. I love this piece of Chrysaprase. It's really, it glows. It's really beautiful. Chrysaprase works with the heart. It's really good for getting rid of nightmares. It's very soothing. So, as I said in the intro, these are seasonal, so I'll have one for spring, card for summer, one for fall, and one for winter. And I'm using the Prisma Visions deck as the main deck, clarifying with the Mystic Mondays, and then pulling a Heart Thoughts card when I feel called to do so. So for spring, we're opening with the Hangman. We're going to clarify the Hangman for 33 for 2021. 5 cards. Six of Wands, Seven of Swords, the Empress, Knight of Swords, and the King of Pentacles. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Wands, the Tower, and the Page of Wands. Top of the deck is the Ace of Wands, Five of Swords, and the Lovers. Wow. Okay. I got up to close the, oops, sorry. I got up to close the window. Anyway. All right, so group 3. The Hangman is someone who has chosen to shift their perspective, who has chosen to see things differently. But he's also stuck because he's hanging there, something he can do. And so part of it is a choice. He chose to get up there, but like in the process of getting up there, I'm not sure if he realized the effects that it would have on himself, how it would force him to change his perspective and the way he views things. I think some of you in springtime are kind of planning how to move into a more happy new beginning, more stable, how to have better relationships, maybe with one person in particular, or just like how to bring in people that are better for you, provide more for you. It feels kind of devious, but not in a bad way. I say devious as in like you're like really, I feel like maybe really trying to like write down and really think about and like really think hard about what you want, why you want it. The kinds of people who can offer you what you want as well. With the Empress here, I'm getting a feeling of like a new beginning, a new abundant beginning. I think you're trying to figure out how to care for yourself and choose yourself while still having a relationship that feels good to you. I'm going to clarify. Knight of Pentacles. King of Wands and the Six of Swords reversed. I think that you have been really hurt by somebody. I think you felt very betrayed by someone who promised you consistency and someone who was supposed to really be there for you, and I think that they really hurt you. And so this energy kind of feels like is like what did I do to deserve this? What could I have done differently for this to not turn out the way that it did? How can I change things? How could I have changed things? But I think one thing that needs to be realized here is that, and I think that's why the Hangman is here, because it's like you're trying to figure out what you did wrong when you didn't actually do anything wrong, you know? Because sometimes people just they don't follow through, or sometimes things don't go the way that we expect them to. But that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with us, you know? That you've done anything wrong. Doesn't mean that at all. But also we have to realize that we can't change people. People can only change themselves, you know? So you can try and like figure out how to have a new beginning. You can try and figure out what you can say and how you can assert yourself and how you can like make them be better, but it's up to them. King of Pentacles clarified by the Moon. On the top of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles and the Ten of Pentacles. So you have to be careful that you don't end up waiting forever for someone to be something that they're not. You don't end up waiting forever for someone to give you something that they cannot give. You know? I think that you may view this person as a King of Pentacles when they're not a King of Pentacles. You know? I think you may want this more stable, consistent connection. That's something that you dream of, and that's something that you would love to have with them. But I don't think that may not be something that they want, you know? And so in springtime, you have to be really careful that you don't end up putting someone on a pedestal, or that you don't end up creating a fantasy or a reality that is not real. Because I think that can easily end up not going well. Because people are not what you create in your mind. People are what they are. I don't need to clarify anything else. I'm gonna get a Heart Thoughts card. I think it's also you don't want to be with someone who is not there for you, you know? I create wonderful new beliefs for myself. My consciousness is now being filled with positive thought patterns that contribute to my health, wealth, and loving relationships. So you be careful with the way that you think, pile 3. Be careful not to assume that you can change yourself or change this other person and somehow things will work out. You know, change the way that you think. Try to take a new perspective and realize that maybe this isn't for you. Maybe it wasn't meant to work out, you know? But that's okay, because you'll find things that are better for you, things that feel better, things that make you happier, things that give you what you need and what you deserve, and not things where you have to constantly figure out and constantly ask yourself, what's wrong with me? Because there's nothing wrong with you. Summer. 7 of Swords. Ooh. We're gonna get cards before I say anything. Seven of Wands, Page of Pentacles, King of Wands, 3 of Cups, ooh, 10 of Swords, Queen of Wands. Oh my God. Pile 2, well, pile 3, I'm sorry. This is very difficult energy. Oh my God. The star came out, so I'll keep it. I think it's like separate a little bit. Woo. So I was just saying, there's nothing wrong with you. I think that you end up feeling very betrayed by this person. Whether you're the Queen or the King of Wands, you end up feeling very betrayed by this person. You know, and I think while you're trying in springtime, I felt like you were really trying to grasp for straws, try to find ways to make things work and try to figure this thing out. But I really feel like there's nothing that you can do to change this, because it feels like this person is disloyal. It feels like they offer a little bit of consistency and like a little bit of um, um, commitment, a little bit of commitment here and there. But it kind of feels like they give it a little bit of it to like everybody, you know? This doesn't feel like someone who's loyal at all. It feels like someone who may give every chance that they get, you know? Maybe this is someone that you're really invested in, but they aren't invested in you, and then you end up feeling hurt because you are not prioritized. And because they put their eggs everywhere else, you know? Feels like someone who cheats, someone who hurts others because of their disloyalty, you know? And I think the star is here to let you know that this is not anything that there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing on your part that you are doing wrong. It has nothing to do with you. And so you are still filled with the love, the acceptance, the abundance of the universe. You are still wonderful. And so you should maintain hope in yourself. And remind yourself that you are worthy and you are someone who deserves to be loved. And that you don't deserve this kind of treatment. And you don't deserve to be treated and not cared for, not thought of. You deserve a lot better. I'm going to clarify some things. It's also, this person came out as the King of Wands in the previous section too, but as a clarifying card. Hold on, there's a card flipped. Or maybe not. Maybe I was just seeing that. Anyway. Three of Cups clarified with the Six of Pentacles. And the Page of Pentacles. So yeah, no, I think that they give little bits of hope to a bunch of different people. I feel like that this is if you're in a relationship with this person, I feel like this is a cheater, honestly. Or at least someone who isn't honest. I feel like there's someone who's looking for a lot of fun, you know, and a lot of excitement, but like consistent fun and excitement rather than a relationship. But I feel like you feel like this connection is like it is a connection. Like you're both, it's the King and Queen of Wands, so like you match, but like they don't give this is something they don't care. They don't care about how their actions affect other people. You know, and I think that this also stems from a fear of vulnerability. I think this stems from a fear of like letting themselves get too close. Because if they're able to distract themselves with a bunch of other people, then they can't ever really sorry, I got distracted. And they can't ever really open up completely to you. And so no, I'm not telling you that you should stick around and have hope for them. Because if they're hurting you, then no, you shouldn't. If they are not considerate of you, then no, you shouldn't. Because you're better than that and you deserve more than that. It doesn't matter how much you love them or how good of a connection it is or how much you feel like you're fated to be or whatever. That doesn't matter when you're not being treated the way that you should be. I'm going to get a Heart Thoughts card. See, there are so many readers on here who will like tell people, oh no, wait for them, they'll do better. No, don't do that. Do better for yourself. You deserve better than that. My home is a peaceful haven. My home is a reflection of myself. As I clean out the closets of my mind, I also make my home a wonderful place to live in. I think it's very important for you to realize that you don't have to keep things around that do not serve you. You don't have to keep people around that are not good for you. The Star is also a card of cleansing and healing. And so it may be important for you to maybe cleanse yourself with this person. Remove them from your space. If they're in your home all the time, why would you want to bring that energy around? Make sure that you're cleansing and protecting yourself, keeping yourself safe. Why do you feel so drawn to somebody who is emotionally unavailable and not caring for you? These are some questions to ask yourself. Reassess. Three of Cups for the fall. All right. So fall. My phone stopped recording, so I had to restart. So for fall, we have the Lovers, the Chariot, the Ace of Pentacles, Six of Pentacles, and the Moon. The Lovers is clarified by the Tower. The Chariot clarified by the Moon. Moon clarified by the Ace of Wands. And the World. Six of Pentacles, clarified by the Knight of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so honestly, I feel like you're still dealing with the same person at this time. And I don't really think that there has been much improvement on their part. I think that they may make you think that they've gotten better. Like, I think they seem on the surface like they're giving more to you, you know? that they're offering more, that they're being more consistent, and that they are. It honestly kind of feels like they like offer you commitment, and then that is a way to like calm you down, or as a way to make up for the way that they have been and how disloyal that they've been. They offer that and they don't actually change their ways. That's what that feels like. That's what this feels like to me. The moon is here twice. So to me, this kind of feels like a new beginning, but that isn't actually a new beginning. A new beginning meant to look like one, but it's actually the same thing. There's still the same like Knight of Wands figure. The Knight of Pentacles is here, but I think it's because they're offering a little bit more consistency and stability, but I don't think it's because they are being any more loyal. Because they also have the Lovers clarified about the Tower. Maybe you find yourself suddenly in a relationship with this person, you know. But I think it's not. You may find yourself suddenly in a relationship with them, or you may find. Oh, also, okay, that's what I was going to say. You may find yourself suddenly in a relationship with them, but I think that also can indicate the fact that this will eventually fall apart and not turn out well, because a tower, you can't really avoid a tower, because a tower is something that has been built upon an unstable foundation, and so it isn't really going to last. It falls because it wasn't secure in the first place. And so with the moon clarifying the Tower, I think it feels like there's a lot of forward movement and change happening and a lot of growth, but I don't think that there actually is. I think that this offer of stability is a distraction offered to you to keep you from focusing so much on how disloyal they've been. Honestly, that's what I think it is. I know that may sound harsh, but because they've hurt you, and based on the cards on the bottom of the deck, we have the Ten of Wands, Princess of Swords, Seven of Cups. I think that you have voiced several times how much work you've put in and how tired you are of not knowing what to expect from them and not knowing where things are going, or like knowing that they are all over the place and not being loyal to you. And I think that you've expressed this so much, it's gotten to the point where they're like, all right, let's be together, but then they're not actually consistent in there for you. And so I think you try to power through, and I think you try to make it work. Same as the beginning of the year, when what you should do, I pulled up some cards. I said try to power through and make it work, because strength and the Three of Pentacles on the top of the deck, followed by the Eight of Cups. You try to power through, you try to make it work, but I think that what would be in your best interest is leaving this person behind and leaving this situation, because you deserve better. I've sneezed a lot in this video. Ugh. Pile 3. What is going on? This person behaves like someone that's like in their like late teens, early adolescence, but I don't think that they're actually that age. I think that there's someone who's in their like late 20s, early 30s, most likely. But they behave like someone who is like way younger than their age. They're really immature. All my relationships are enveloped in a circle of love. I have wonderful, harmonious relationships with everyone, where there is mutual respect and caring on both sides. And that's really important here, because that is not the case with this person that you've been dealing with, that you may be dealing with throughout this year, throughout 2021. It's important for relationships to be equally respectful and caring. And respect means being loyal and caring about the other person's feelings, not being willing to hurt them. Even if it's not intentional, they know that doing this is not helping you. It's harming you, and they're aware of that. So clearly they don't respect you or care about you, actually, even if they say they do. Actions speak louder than words. Even if they offer commitment and say that they love you, do they show that they do? Or do they continue to be disloyal and hurt you, knowing full well how much this impacts you? So again, you need to reassess. Why does this person have so much access to you? Because you deserve better. Stop giving energy to people who are not deserving of you. 2021. 2K21. That's wild. They're in the future. Alright, and winter. Death. Y'all have just been going through it this whole year. Maybe that's why you got Chrysaprase. This year is a living nightmare regarding love. Alright, so group 3. This is winter. We have death. Five of Cups. Excuse me. Judgment. A Star. Death. Oh, death twice. Two of Cups. On the deck is the Ace of Swords and the Two of Pentacles. On the top of the deck is the King of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles in the World. I think in winter, you prioritize yourself. I think that by the time winter comes around, well, at least in winter, you choose to let go of this thing that you've been dealing with for the entire year. You choose to release it. I think that Judgment is a card of like Judgment Day. When everyone gets resurrected from the dead and assessed, and they get sent and they go to where they're meant to go. They either get everlasting life or they don't. And that's what you're doing here. Choosing. Like, will I walk through this door of self-love and understanding and healing? Or will I stay where I am? But I think that you choose to get rid of these cups, to get rid of these things that are no longer serving you and that are not good for you. You take what you've learned from dealing with this person and you take action from it in order to bring yourself into a greater sense of stability. Endings are new beginnings. And I think that dealing with this, I think when you let go of this person, it opens up space for someone else to come in that will offer you more of what you need. You know, a deeper, more caring and intimate connection emotionally. I think it will help bring in someone who is more loyal to you. But it depends on you and the decisions that you make. And whether, because like what the person was doing, it's not something that you deserve at all. However, you do have to make that decision to leave them, to like, it's up to you how you react to it and whether or not you choose to leave or if you choose to stay with it. You know, if you choose to like continue to let yourself be subjected to their lack of loyalty and lack of care. These cards have been a nightmare to shuffle today. I haven't used these cards in a while. I feel like I should for this read. Yeah, on the Two of Cups, we have the Sun. And so by letting go of this connection that is not good for you, you leave room for something that is so much better and more positive and better for you. Something that is bound for success. Something that brings you happiness. Something that makes you feel, I think, very cared for and regal almost, you know? Someone that treats you like royalty, I feel. I'm getting a lot of Scorpio energy here. And we have death twice, but that's not why. I mean, part of it, but like that's not the main reason. And so I need you to understand that relationships don't always have to be tumultuous. They don't have to be difficult. You know? Like someone being there for you and caring for you does not mean, and like being open, does not mean that they're not interesting. And doesn't mean that there's not a real connection there. Sometimes like relationships are not supposed to be extremely hard. I love and accept myself. Look in the mirror and say, I love and accept myself exactly as I am. When I accept all of myself, I am whole and healed. And so there's a lot of healing that you'll be going through in the winter. But I also think that you'll find a greater sense of self-love and understanding, which will bring in more relationships that are better for you as well. And that's all for group 3. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Please leave a comment and let me know if it resonated. All right, group 4, hello, welcome to your reading. You chose Hiddenite. Hiddenite is related to Kunzite, which was for the first pile. From what I remember, it's really good for connecting with your emotions, especially ones that you don't realize you have, and having an open heart and also learning unconditional love. All right, so for springtime, we have the Tower. See what this is all about. Two of Pentacles. Devil. Wheel of Fortune. Nine of Wands. Eight of Swords. What is going on? I think you guys are feeling really trapped by a decision that you don't actually have to make. Like, it feels like you feel like you have to either do one thing or do another thing. Like, I have to do this or I have to do that. And it's causing you a lot of anxiety and a lot of stress. One, realize that there's always more than just two options. You don't always have to, like, choose between two things. Life is not always extremes of things, you know? So, Devil clarified by the Nine of Cups. It's weird. Why are y'all anxious? What is this decision about? Eight of Swords is clarified by the King of Cups and the Tower. We have the World on the bottom of this deck. Five of Wands on the top. This feels like another deck of, like, do I want to be single or do I want to be with somebody? Do I want to be single or do I want to open up? Do I want to, you know, because I feel like you guys, you feel really happy on your own, but you also kind of want to, like, have companionship in springtime. And I think that the stress comes in because it's like someone comes along and suddenly you're like, it's like someone who you did not expect to be really into them at all, and then suddenly you are, and you're like, oh my god, now I have to choose. But it's really, like, it's not a bad decision to have to make. It's just causing you a lot of stress and anxiety. You know, it's very different from the other pile. Which pile was that? It was pile 2. Pile 2 was like, pile 2, they wanted to be single mainly. But this one, it's like you're enjoying it, you're happy. It's not like you're single because you're guarded. You're just single because you enjoy being alone, I think. And I think someone comes along who isn't too pushy and who is emotionally secure and available and, like, who's able to offer you what you need and who feels very comfortable. And they come along very suddenly, and I think that causes you a lot of anxiety because you're like, oh my god, now I have to be with this person. What else am I supposed to do? Which I don't actually, like, that's unrealistic. Like, it's not like you're gonna have to choose suddenly. Like, that's not gonna happen. But I think you feel that way. Because you're like, I've been doing all this on my own for so long, and it's been going so well, and now here you are. I have the Tower here twice, so it, like, really catches you off guard. And I'm just imagining the situation where it's like, you just going about life, you know, and then someone pops up and you're like, oh my god, you're perfect. Except I'm really enjoying my own time and myself, so I don't know if I'm actually interested or want this, but like, you're so perfect, and so now you're anxious because you're like, oh my god, what do I do? Let's clarify the Nine of Wands, just for fun. The Ace of Cups and the Six of Wands. So I think you've been going through life a little stressed, not a little stressed, but like by yourself. But I think it's just because you enjoy the challenge of it in a way. You enjoy having to face life and its difficulties on your own. I think it gives you some type of fulfillment and excitement. It makes you feel very accomplished. So you like it. And so it's not that you don't want someone else. It's just like, I think you feel like you can only have the fulfillment of life, of like accomplishing things in life if you're on your own. I don't know why. I want to go deeper, but this is a very long reading, so no, I will. Okay. Why are they like this? Okay, I think in life we have frequently been without, or maybe you haven't been cared for by like paternal figures in your life, so like fathers, grandfathers, or even like just people who were supposed to be providing for you financially and like providing you with material security were not able to do so. And so now I think you take that into your own hands and you make the decisions that you need to make in order to make sure that your life goes well, and you've learned to find some type of fulfillment out of that. So you enjoy it, really, like a lot. It just brings you a lot of happiness. But it comes from this place of like, I wasn't really cared for and looked after, and never, and like frequently had to go without, or I would be forgotten, or I would be forgotten sometimes. You'd be forgotten sometimes. So like, maybe your dad would forget to pick you up from school, or like sometimes you wouldn't stand like the people, adults in your life wouldn't stand up for you the way that you needed to. So you figured out how to do it, and now you're really proud of yourself and your ability to do it on your own, and it makes you happy. Good for you. Don't need a hard thoughts card for this section. But I will pull some. They will happen as I feel called to do so. Oh, Lovers on the bottom. I think that this is someone who will be very significant for you. You just gotta learn to let your guard down a little bit. You're used to being on your own. Alright, so let's move on to summer. 9 of Cups. Justice. Nine of Cups. Oh, 9 of Cups twice. How nice. King of Swords. Five of Wands. Temperance. And the 7 of Pentacles. That's interesting. So I think at the end of spring, we were really faced with this option of this person that suddenly showed up, and that you suddenly had the opportunity to like get to know or like open yourself up to them. I think you end up choosing just whatever feels right to you, you know? Which I know wasn't really giving much detail. I think you may end up being very cold towards this person because you kind of want to just be by yourself and be alone. And so I think you may end up being very cold towards them. It's not because you're not interested. I think you just kind of enjoy sitting alone with your 9 cups. Like, I have everything I need right here. Why would I need something else? That's the vibe that I'm getting. 7 of Pentacles clarified by the Tower and the 8 of Swords. Let's clarify Justice. 10 of Wands. Okay, so I do think that this King of Swords, I think it's the same person as the King of Cups, but I think that they it might be the same person, it might not. For some of you, I think it is the same person. I think that they just changed the way that they approach you due to your lack of openness to them. And so they close themselves off a little bit and they're less open with their feelings because they realize there's a chance of getting hurt. For some other of you, this is a different person. Either way, this King of Swords figure is like also, it's like King of Swords, 5 of Wands. It's so weird. They're like trying to very assertively offer a cup to you, and like they're trying to like be very clear and very like, here's this thing, I'm really like I'm offering it to you. You don't have to take it if you don't want it, but I want you to know the option is there. Here you go. I think some of you really push back against it with the 5 of Wands, even though you really are very interested in them, and I think you do it just because you enjoy being by yourself. You might also be afraid of being let down, but not because you've had bad love experiences, probably just because of like childhood trauma. Anyway, and I think you try to like push back and you're like, oh, we don't have to decide right now, like let me wait, like let's wait, let me think about it. And because like I think having to make this decision causes you a lot of anxiety, just like in springtime it causes you a lot of stress. I think it feels like you feel that by allowing yourself to be open to this connection, then you somehow lose a part of yourself. But that's not necessarily how that works, and you're not going to lose any of your 9 cups by being open to accepting one more cup. You still have your 9 cups. You just have 9 cups plus one more, And so I think you try and like put it off and like try and be like, okay, let's just wait on this. Let's not make a decision just yet. But like, with the Tower and the Eight of Swords and the Seven of Pentacles, I don't think that ends up working out. Like, I feel like you try to put it off and try not to decide or try not to make a decision, but like they're not really having it. I think that they're like, I can't be sitting around waiting for you all day, waiting for you for like years for you to make a choice. Just make a choice. This is very frustrating to the person that you're dealing with, I think. Because I think that they try to be really patient and logical and like see things from your perspective. I think they try to be really understanding, but like part of them also just like really wants to know, and also just really wants to like move forward and like have some progress. You know what I mean? Let me clarify the Five of Wands. Clarified by the Knight of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. Yeah, no, they're trying to be patient and understanding, but they also really want movement now. And so like yeah, no, they're trying to be very logical, but they see a future and they want to build. They really want to build, like work towards something, like really bad. And so I think they kind of push you to making a decision and trying to like not trying to change you. They just want you to like figure out what you want so they can build with you, because that's what they want. They want to like figure things out. They want to explore. Oh, let me get a Heart Thoughts card. Sorry. I treat myself with unconditional love. I am a precious being loved by the universe. As I increase the love I have for myself, so too does the universe. Oh, and I think the reason this person is coming in now is because of the amount of unconditional love that you have for yourself and how much you actually genuinely care for yourself. And so this person is coming in because you love yourself so much that you're at a place where you're able to have that openness with somebody else, you know? And so the universe, I think, is trying to offer you this opportunity of experiencing a really true and pure form of love and commitment that you haven't experienced before. And so this is being offered to you as a gift, and you don't have to take it, but it's there for you. And this person seems pretty consistent. Not consistent. Insistent. I mean, also consistent, but like that wasn't the word I was looking for. The Magician. Let me sip some water. Delicious. Anyway, let's learn about this magician here. Four of Wands. Three of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Two of Wands. The Nine of Pentacles. So, I think you end up giving this person a shot. You know, I think you end up opening up to it. Because I think you also realize that, like, your reality is what you make of it. And you don't necessarily have to lose your independence just because you open up to somebody. So that's not, you just, letting one thing in doesn't mean you're letting go of something else all the time. Sometimes it does, but not in this case. This, I'm gonna keep looking at this stone. It's really mesmerizing. The color, it's very translucent. It's very pretty. Anyway, I think you end up giving them a chance because you can tell that they're very stable and secure and that you would be really happy with them, and also that this is like actually something that you've been wanting, even if you don't realize it's something that you wanted. I think it catches you off guard. I mean, it did. It caused you a lot of anxiety, realizing that there was someone you liked. You were like, oh my god, I'm stressed. I like them. This is awful. That's the energy I was getting. I think you end up giving them a chance and realizing that you can work with this person. You can learn from them. I think that's the main thing that makes you want to keep being around them, is that you realize that there's a lot to learn too. You know, so by being around them, it enhances yourself, like your sense of self. You know? And it also provides you with a greater sense of security because they are consistent. And I think it opens your whole world. It like really broadens your worldview and your perspective. And I think it gives you a greater sense of self-appreciation and self-sufficiency as well. I think that you learn to love yourself more through this relationship, and it's not, or this connection with this person. I think they bring to light some of your better aspects of who you are. Distracted? I like zoned out. Anyway, moving forward. That was weird. Okay, I found some cards. Mr. Monday's deck. First of all, that's too many cards. Right, Two of Wands clarified by the Fool and the Two of Wands. Three of Pentacles, clarified by Justice, the Hierophant, and the Eight of Cups. So yeah, no, I think you just decide to let go of some of your ideas about how relationships work and the way that they may limit you. You realize that they don't actually limit you, because everything that you need is with you at all times, even if you are in the presence of another person. You don't lose any of your power of being with someone else. You know, so that allows you to, I think, enter into this connection And I'm not saying that you end up like in a relationship or something. Like you might, but like not necessarily. But regardless of all of that, you open yourself up to this because I think you see that it's something that's fair and stable and secure. And that gives you some things that you've been looking for, that you've been needing. Some of you might be Aquarius. I also feel like you may have Gemini in your 5th house. What else? Oh, and I think you decide to just, you're like, all right, I'll just go for it. You just do it. You know, you decide like, well, let the anxiety go. Like, whatever anxiety, you can't stop me from trying new things. If I don't like it, I don't have to stay. You know. And so you allow yourself to take that risk. So I think you realize that like, regardless of what happens, life is life. Love goes how love is gonna go. And there's only one way for you to experience it, you know, and to know if this is for you, and that's to go through with it, you know. And I think that's what you end up doing. You just go for it. Good for you. I am perfectly protected. When a fearful thought comes up, I recognize that it is trying to protect me. I thank it and I let it go with love. And so with any fear that you have surrounding relationships and surrounding opening yourself up, it is important for you to recognize, like, yes, I have this fear. This fear is valid. I recognize it. I see it, but I'm not going to let it drive me. So you let it go. You know, there's a saying I've heard before, which is like, fear is important. Like, let fear be in the car, like, but don't let fear drive. You know, fear is not in charge. Fear can have some input because we experience fear for a reason, and it helps us, you know, with making decisions, and it helps us know how to react, and it is a helpful emotion and response. But fear should not drive you, because then you'll never experience anything. You'll always be stuck in the same place because you're afraid, you know. And so I think here you end up acknowledging, yes, I'm afraid of losing myself. I'm afraid of not having freedom. I'm afraid of these things, but despite that fear, I'm going to go with it anyway, because this is something that looks promising and that I think I'd like, and I genuinely like and enjoy this person, you know? And I think you're able to genuinely express yourself around whoever this is and feel very true to yourself as well, which is part of what makes you feel very comfortable and free. Now, moving forward to winter. We have the Emperor. unnecessary. They just threw the cards all over the ground, and I just think that I didn't need that. Eight of Pentacles, 10 of Cups, 2 of Swords, 2 of Cups, and the Hangman. Bottom of the deck is the Moon. Top of the deck is the Lovers. No, I think that this connection really came out of nowhere. And the Empress was flipped over in the deck, and I just think that that's funny because we have the Emperor here, and that's a pair. So I think that this person really genuinely caught you so off guard. I don't think you ever thought you'd find somebody that matched you or that made you feel comfortable or that allowed you to be as free as you wanted to be. But you do. And they're consistent and they're there for you. It's like you have your freedom and your independence, but you also don't have to worry about not being cared for and not feeling secure within your relationship. That's amazing. And so I think in the winter, at this point, you and the person that you are with are working towards building this closer connection and building this relationship with one another. Because I think the two of you make this decision that even though you can't see where things are going to go, you are choosing to open yourselves up and choosing to change the way you view, to change your perspective and allow yourself to open up and experience emotional vulnerability with one another. Choosing to go to the depths, but like but still having light, you know? And it's like learning more about each other and finding the depth within one another is like an adventure for the two of you. And like I said with the Hangman here, it's like you've decided, all right, I'm going to change my perspective. I am opening myself up. I am choosing to relax and allow this to happen and see where it goes. And I think that that's great, especially because you started off the year so anxious about the idea of like anybody showing up. You know, like the idea of liking someone was causing you so much intense anxiety. And I think that compared to this is so different. And I think that you, like I said, for fall, you learned so much about yourself through this person. Tell me about this person here. This is someone who is a go-getter. They are someone who is very clear with their words. They say what they mean, and they are very determined. You know, they want what they want. Ace of Swords, Ace of Cups. They're very open about their emotions. They may be a Scorpio. Or maybe a Pisces, but I'm getting more like Scorpio energy. Anyway, they're very upfront, honest. I think that they've been through a lot themselves. They're usually very independent, but when they see what they want, they go for it. You know? I think they try to communicate their feelings very clearly, not just their feelings, but like their thoughts. They want people to know what they're thinking. They want to be very transparent. And they may not be like the most upfront or in the sense of like they tell you everything that you need to know right then. But like if you were to ask them, they're always going to be honest with you. You know, and if you're to talk to them, they will always be honest with you and give you the answers to what you're asking about. There's no fear of disloyalty because it's just out of character for this person. You know, and also there's no fear of them not being there for you because they treat you like an extension of themselves and they love themselves, I feel. You know, so none of these are things that you will have to worry about with them, and that's amazing. personally. That's what I think. I am a harmonious being. Everything I do, say, or think is in harmony with the truth. There is perfect and continuous right action in my life and my affairs. This connection is happening because it's what you deserve and it's what you are ready for and it's what you're meant to have right now. Well, in winter of this year. And these things are happening because you're doing the work that you need to do for yourself, you know? Because people are caring, because you care for yourself, you care for other people, and because it's in line with where you are right now. I'm not always a law of attraction person, but like if that's where that's where your energy is, and so this is what's coming in for you, and it's beautiful and it's amazing, and you feel free. And this other person is also free. You have independence and you have intimacy and you have everything. But again, this relationship is not your whole life, so you have a lot of independence, and it's a choice. You know, the Lovers is on the top of the deck. The Lovers is a choice. They come together because they want to, not because they have to, not because they're tied down, but because they are in the same space and they're like, I want to be closer with this person. I want to be here with this person. I want to experience life with them. And that's what this is. This is very lovers-y, you know, this is a very pure connection, I think. And I think that there's a lot of places it can go. And the moon was on the bottom of the deck, and I think that's just indicative of how this is very different from what either of you are kind of used to, and so it's like a journey into the unknown. And so you have to really trust yourself here. But there's nothing to be afraid of, I think. Okay, so that's all, group 4. I hope that this resonated. I hope that you got something out of it. I hope that it helped you out in some way. It was fun for me. So feel free to like, comment, like, subscribe, etc. All the things. Let me know how this was. Reviews help me out, because how can I know what needs improvement if nobody comments? But yes, I love a review. Anyway, that's all.